Hello everyone, and welcome back to another round of Tempest Trials, my favorite mode in the game, because it always introduces new and exciting skill combinations through seals. Now, before we begin, let's listen to some of the trash talk from our favorite heroes. Where am I now? No. You were born from the chaos in which... Mar. It is I, your Why would you lie to a small girl? I cannot believe you. Prince Marth, I mean, me, as well as anyone, it is you. Of course, I'm a small girl, I'm fooled by little things, but why are you wearing that mask? That's a very good reason for that. And what is that reason? Oh, of course, you're gonna deny yourself that reason because you're a small girl with wings. It is the real I mean the real Marth. Splitting watermelons is your turn. I guess she's already got a blindfold if you really think about it. How can you see out of these little tiny ass slits? The mask helped me, watermelon splitting expert. Cut through this tempest. Oh well, of course, now you tricked a small girl into fighting a larger version of herself. Now that is just horrible. Now that's something Andor would do. Don't believe Andor's lies. Okay, so let's go over the Tempest Trial rewards. First, we get more Masked Marths. Now, I know there are people who complain about getting more of her, but in my personal opinion, I think it is a good thing that we get her to plus 10 soon. Because among all the Tempest Trial units, she actually has pretty decent stats. I wouldn't say the best stats, because she's a Generation 1 unit, but her stats are actually pretty good. And she also comes with the Falchion, which already has 2 separate refinements already. The Spectrum Bond and the Brazen Awe from the Sealed Falchion. So she's a good investment to make. She's a good investment to work on, and I mean, honestly, spreading all the merges to the different Tempest Trials units are kind of silly. I do wish though that there are more opportunities to get more of those other Tempest Trial units, but if we can get one to plus 10 soon, it would be much more useful than getting a horde of other weaker units. Alright, now, the first seal that we get is the HP Res seal. It's not that great, but it's actually pretty useful. For characters like, say, the Demon Maria, this gives her a good chunk of bulk, 4 HP and 2 res. The res can be used for helping applying more ploys. This is a really good setup compared to just HP plus 5, so, I mean, I wouldn't call this a priority upgrade, but it is not a bad upgrade. It patches up your HP deficits. It helps you apply more panic ploy, if that has to come to be. But HP is actually not that bad a stat, especially if your character is fast. So, you know, if you have characters that just missing a seal slot, well, this is something that you could use. Now, Speed Ploy. That is something I've been looking forward to. Now, admittedly, I have already sacrificed 4 Speed Ploys in my lifetime. 2 from Deirdre, and 2 from Sias. I've sacrificed them to Faye to create Ultra Faye. I've sacrificed it to Jenny to make her extremely fast. I've sacrificed Sias to Harden. And that is why Harden can reach an unreasonable 49 speed. And then finally, I sacrificed the next Sias to this horrible character. So now, she can... Ah, God, I spoiled her silly. But you know what? Now, with her good resistance, she can dual ploy. She can give res ploy and speed ploy, giving her a horrible edge in battle. So, that being said, now you can do this with another unit with speed ploy. So, say you have a character that's like Al-Qaeda that already has a death ploy, well now you can apply a speed ploy as a seal to dual ploy people. This is very good. You don't have to use up a turn to debuff units like the feint skills. which I find to be pretty good. It puts a unit's res points to use, otherwise they're a little weaker than the other units. So Speed Ploy is definitely something I've been looking for some time. Meanwhile, there's Flashing Blade as the main reward at 20k points. Now, Flashing Blade is, in my opinion, not as strong as Heavy Blade, mainly because you can't use it on too many different classes. It's like, you can only use it for infantry and armor, and armor has no use for such a thing. One, they're naturally not all that fast. Sure, there are fast ones like Zelgis and Blanino, but honestly, they have much more mileage out of Bold Fighter and Vengeful Fighter that Flashing Blade is kind of useless on them. So, in the end, it's mostly for infantry units. I guess you could slap it on Raven or something, and give him some powerful usage, and you can just leave it on him instead of sharing it with Heavy Blade from your other units. But, in my opinion though, it's really not such a big deal. I kinda wish though that Flashing Blade would be good for flying units at least, because then I can have a whole team full of flyers that can instantly enter Gale Force and rip an entire team to shreds in an instant. But unfortunately, well, things are as they are. We can't inherit it to other units besides infantry. Now, another problem with this is that there are a lot of fast infantry units already. So, unless you're sporting a Carla or something who has 44 speed thanks to a speed super boon of all things, you tend to run into a lot of competition when it comes to speed. Though I guess you could buff them or something like that, but in situations where you can't buff your units, the Flashing Blade does sometimes become a wasted seal slot. So I prefer something like Speed Ploy, but of course Speed Ploy also requires your resistance, but a lot of units don't have good resistance. It's for certain units to give them a certain edge so that their resistance are put to use rather than just being kind of wasted. Anyway, so that's the end of my explanations and thoughts of these rewards. Let us begin by doing some Tempest Trials.
Best wishes.
And let's have some best wishes as we fight 3 dudes. I'm gonna play some wonderful music that I've just found, and they're beautiful, and I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully you can bob your head while listening to it, while we go and enjoy our wonderful summer by blasting Mist to death. Titosaurus Rex, nah! And so Mist got nah to death. Now, let's move her again.
I hope your
new year bring lots of death and destruction. Like Roderick, bring the death and destruction. Read this book.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I can't read it, so I'm just gonna kind of park them here. Oh no, not that! No, don't throw stars at me! Ugh. But that's okay, I can heal. That is why I brought Sarah Moon around.
I'm here!
Look at you! Yeah, you're beautiful! Look at you! Wow, okay, that's actually unreasonable, but that's alright. I have this. I decided to give Lilith Floaty to Azura, because I think that as a dancer unit, when you move another character again, it is very handy that they get more attack and speed rather than defenses, so that they can do stuff like this without getting hurt. Yeah! Alright, now let's move on to the next round. But yeah, I mean, like, when you move a character again, more often than not, you want to have good offensive stats to lay waste to the enemy unit. So, having Lilith Floaty on someone like Azura is very nice. Or just any dancer, really. Well, now I think about it, there's only 2 axe dancers currently, and that is both Azuras. Actually pretty terrible, but that's what I would prioritize on. Let me think, was there another weapon like this? Oh yeah, I suppose you could give the hibiscus tome to Inigo. That works. Oh, Barst will Barst will be a victim to Azura. Oh no! Let's celebrate by beating you over the head with this floaty. This floaty doesn't seem very heavy, but for some reason, it bashed Bart's head in, and now he is dead.
Off I go.
Okay, we can't quite do that to Hector, so we'll just, I don't know.
Adore me.
Adore me to heal Azura to fall so that Azura can get Sarah to move again, and Sarah can punish Hector to death without dealing with distant counter. Seriously, healers are so disgusting. Fire Sweep staff is just the most disgusting thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, their stats are kind of wanting, but honestly, it doesn't matter because you can just buff for these stats. So this is why I can tolerate Gen 1 stats, because you can buff for these stats. At the very least, that can be made up for.
I hope your new year.
So, honestly, I hate the fact that they did power creep stats. There's many other things they can power creep. They can power creep, say,
Done.
new skills or something like that. I don't have any problems with that. I like toys. But when you power creep stats, you can't quite make up for it. Yeah, I mean, you can refine a unit, but then the new power creep units, they can be refined too, so
Yes.
it's just kind of annoying to see that, oh yeah, some of my plus 10 investments, they're not
Done.
as good
Yes.
as the previous ones. I mean, as good as the new ones. So,
Of course.
but I do understand that power creep is something that you kind of need in a game like this so that people can continue to invest. But honestly, I think that skills are a better way to do it rather than a whole unit. Because my units, unless I can give them power creep stats, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind spending 100 orbs if it means that I can make my
So hot.
units stronger, to give them a couple more stats. I don't mind if we have like a story mode or something that gives them more stats, like say, you know how like in Fate Grand Order that there are like these personal missions that you have, from what I understand anyway. I don't actually play the game, so I don't know, but I have seen like some videos of like personal quests that specific heroes have that gives them, I don't know, I think giving you skills or something. Though, something like that would be really cool, because now, instead of them just being stuck with Gen 1 stats, they have a way to get to Gen 2. And when Gen 3 units come out, which I honestly hope they don't so soon, but they're gonna probably come out with them. I hope that at least there's gonna be some way for our old units to catch up. You know, I don't want to see
Let's celebrate.
alts of characters that I like. Like,
Oh, so hot.
okay, so like Flying Nino, for instance. She's not normally a Flying Nino, she's just a regular Nino. Yeah, I mean, there's a silly conversation of Florina with Nino about Pegasus, but, you know, it's a fantasy unit. I mean, it doesn't actually exist. So, it makes me a little sad that the regular Nino kind of got power creep. Kinda. I say this because, fortunately, range units BST power creep isn't exactly that bad. It's like, at most, 3 to 4 points. So I can tolerate that at least. But, you know, if there are Gen 3 stuff coming eventually, it's gonna leave a very bad taste in my mouth. But, well, for now, I can tolerate the current power creep. It's not so very bad.
Yes.
Now let's go and bomb Bard May to death. And speaking of which,
I'll tan your hide.
tan your hide. Speaking of which, I learned something terrible. When I paid attention to the map for Fire Emblem 16, I realized that it actually says Bard Mac instead of Bard May. I thought, you know, it says Bard May because of these horrible ye olde English text that, well, that
So hot.
that C looked kind of like an E, so I thought for a while that that place was called Bard May. But you know what? I'm still gonna call her Bard May because, you know what? When I think of something stupid like that, I like to stick with it. Alright, now let's blast Merrick Ishtar to death. Or
Off I go.
just
Done.
Ishtar, I guess. And we'll just leave Masked Marth to deal with Baruka. Luigi Baruka. Who can do 0 damage to Masked Marth. Hey, Masked Marth, smash you to death.
You will not stop
With a
me.
powerful Glimmer! Eventually I will go and give her Aether or something at some point. But Glimmer is a very useful skill. Though I think Moonbow might still be better because, at least, you know, when you run into enemies that have ridiculous defenses, you can still do a couple points of damage. So that might actually save your hide. Or rather than, say, in situations where, oh, you have 7 HP left on a guy that you can't do any damage to, and, well, you have Glimmer.
So hot.
In which case, you might as well just roll over and die, because then you do no damage, and then the guy with a million defenses will come up to you and smash you in the face. And then you die. And I don't like that. I don't want to die. So, Glimmer has its weaknesses, and
Yes?
I'm not a huge fan of that. I prefer something that is more reliable. That is why I'm still kind of in Camp Moonbow, despite the fact that, you know, there are differences and different uses for these things. I just like reliability. It's kind of like driving a Toyota. Toyotas are good cars. I mean, yeah, sometimes their style is a little wanting, but they're good cars. They will last you for a very long time.
Oh, so hot.
Let's go and bring down that Takumi.
I'm enjoying this. Are you?
Take down that AE-86. Yeah. Alright, now that we've destroyed Mount Akina's Phantom, now we will go and destroy Gray. Alright, let's see. Well, since we can't really move or do anything, well, we'll just let Close Counter take care of this. It doesn't matter which one you pick, they will die. Oh, Gray has picked Sarah Moon. And now Sarah Moon will crush you. Although, I seem to have made one terrible mistake. It appears that I have forgotten to slap on Live to Serve
Off I go.
on Sarah Moon. I don't even have Absorb on her, which she comes with, but 6 Paths of Pain plus, well, that's a lot of damage. So,
Best wishes.
let's see. Let's
Yes?
move our units down
Oh,
here.
so hot. Yes.
So my healer doesn't have sustain. I'm gonna not let her take any more damage from here on. Oh yeah, that said, I actually am running a team of disgusting healers.
Yes.
Currently, I have an arena team of 4 mounted healers. Unfortunately, I can't tell how well they're doing at the moment, because it doesn't tell me. I mean, yeah, I killed a couple people, but it doesn't tell me how well they're doing it, or how they're actually doing it. So if you end up fighting my defense team of 4 mounted healers, let me know how you did.
Done.
It would be very interesting. Especially if you have a video or something. Oh no, Deirdre, not that! Meh! But it's only 3 times 2! Deirdre's defenses are actually quite high. Not even the little floaty can help. What do I do? Now we have Virion coming in, and Virion is actually quite tough. Let's see. First things first, let's go and slash down Deirdre. Now Deirdre has been defeated. Let's see. I suppose we can do a bombing run from here to take you down. I have Desperation active. I should be able to pull this off. Let's go.
May this new year.
May these New Year's bring death and destruction to Virion! 69 damage! Oh yeah! Giggity!
On it.
Alright, now that we've done that, now let us go and slay the others. Cordelia will be played with by Sarah Moon. Meanwhile, we're gonna take wonderful chance to bring down Faye with an 87 damage Falchion Slash. You see, the existence of Green Dragon is really, really unfortunate for them because Falchion users are going to completely melt them.
Sink or swim.
Oh, looks like it's sinking time, Cordelia. Yeah, the existence of something like that is just overwhelming. Oh, is that the last stage? That was it? Well, how unfortunate. Well, I guess that's the end of our talking time for today. I hope that you enjoyed my little rant and mumbling about my thoughts on the Tempest Trials and some of my coming plans. I know I haven't been very active in making videos these last couple because I've been kind of busy again. Not to mention I have some problems I had to deal with regards to Curse. Though I didn't get kicked out of it, I was kind of thinking about leaving it. Though in the end, I might not. I don't think it's such a good idea at this time. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. Until next time.